My name's Heather Drake and I suffered with post-traumatic stress disorder. I went through trauma treatment with EMDR therapy and I've come out the other side. The trauma that I had experienced was abuse, neglect in childhood, miscarriages, stillbirth in adult life, car accidents, domestic abuse as well. I grew up very much with parents that didn't encourage feelings, not to talk about emotions. If I said I was afraid, it was, no, you're not, don't be silly. So I learned to keep everything inside, and rather than deal with something, I would look outside of myself. So I became very dependent upon alcohol, upon drugs, to stop how I was feeling. Many of the traumas I suffered happened in the town where I live, and I'd moved a lot, and walking around the city I would have lots of anxiety. I would become very depressed. I would sometimes get very angry. I would find myself shouting at people because the trauma would kick in. I found it difficult to be at home. I found it difficult to be outside, and just realised that I needed some help. I was referred to psychological therapies and given the opportunity to join a group called ECS group, which was Emotional Coping Skills. We kept diaries of our emotions, and I very quickly learned that I was living in either fear or living in anger. So I had an assessment and was referred to a trauma therapist, an EMDR therapist. The eye movement treatment itself actually felt quite strange to begin with, and I was very resistant to it at first, but just going with it really worked. I don't know how to explain it to anybody. It's as though my brain and my body just knew that the trauma needed to be dealt with, and the eye movement treatment just worked. The therapist used her fingers and just moved her hand in front of my face with 2 fingers, and I followed with my eyes. If anyone knows the game Connect 4 where the counter just drops down, it felt very much like something inside of me was dropping down into place that hadn't been there before, and it would make me feel more connected with myself. I would feel the emotions of maybe the 5-year-old child that I didn't feel when I was 5 years old. Very powerful. My younger self and my very recent younger self felt so hopeless and wanted to give up so many times, and I would say to her that I'm so proud of her that she didn't, and I'm so proud of her that she was courageous enough to take the step to face the pain and the hurts, and that she is enough, and she always was enough, and that I am enough. The Rock Gardens has become a very special place for me. Before EMDR, I could never go there. I used to walk by the Rock Gardens and become so angry, I just didn't even know why to begin with, why I was so angry. And then memories started to come back to me. And since EMDR therapy, I just went there one day and realised I was in there. I didn't even plan to go there. I just realised I was in there. I was sat on a bench. I was sat very calm, very still, watching a little robin. And the robin was singing away. And I just heard this very still, calm inner voice saying, he's singing a new song. And I just felt like there was something in me saying, yes, Heather, look, you're singing a new song now. If I was speaking to somebody who was at the beginning, I would say, please don't give up. Please have hope. Please keep going. And do try EMDR, because it really does work. I don't know how, but you can be set free. You can have a different kind of life. And it's hard work. It's hard work to show up and be courageous enough to face those feelings, but it's worth it.